All right, dear student, this is the material. I'm gonna go over the material that you will need for my hands and feet workshop, online workshop. So first of all, you're gonna buy a box of chocolate, right? Eat all the chocolate, and then that way you have a nice box where you can put the stuff in. So as a first assignment, I would say it's pretty good. So let's see what we have in this box. You don't need all this stuff, but you will need a tool like this or a compass. So this is a divider. It's big because sometimes I do bigger drawings and I need a big tool. But what this is for measuring proportions of in this case, proportion of the hands, etc. So a tool like this, this is called divider, and it can be very similar to a compass, except instead of having a point and a piece of graphite, it just has 2 points, right? Or you can also use one of those measuring tools for sculptures, but divider. Okay, we go with the divider first. So, divider. And then you will need pencils. So I like these pencils. These are called lead holders. The lead inside these pencils is the same thickness as the lead that you will find, graphite lead that is, that you will find in regular pencils. The advantage of this is that you can have one of these and a box, I only have left two left, a box with leads of various gradation, H, HB, etc., etc. And with these two, you can, instead of having, let's say, 5 or 6 pencil, you just have one pencil, a box of lead, and it's very convenient. But in order to sharpen this, you will need a special tool, which is this thing in here. You're gonna put the lead inside here and then turn it, clean it, and then you're good to go. The other advantage of this is that besides being really cool, right, because it's a cool tool, come on, you can also use this for measuring purposes. When you look at the model at the distance, if the model is too tall, you can extend the length of the pencil, and instead of using a knitting needle or spaghetti or stuff like that, you use this, and it's very useful for measuring, right? Good. You can use, if you prefer, regular pencils. They're always good old pencils, but make sure you have sharpeners because and sharpen your pencil frequently as a general rule, right? Because you want to have a thin point that permits you to do thin mark or thicker mark, etc., as you need to. That will increase your mark making quality. So wait a second, I'll be back in a second. And, this is real life. The boiler was making a hissing noise. Okay, so apologize. So pencils, right, of various types. Pencils. So you can use again this one. This is called a lead holder. Which is different from the mechanical pencil, the one that you click to get the lead out. And those I prefer not to use them because the lead is very thin, it breaks, you cannot sharpen it. Very useful, but not really for this exercise. You can also get erasers in the form of a pencil like this, where these are very convenient, very good for details, little going over little parts, little lines, targeting them specifically. And of course you will need, I like kneaded eraser. The kneaded eraser is very good, very delicate, and it works very well. Or the regular eraser. So color pencils are good because we can sometimes differentiate parts of the hand, for example. If we're drawing one hand like this, right, and then I keep a very light mark, and then I say, oh, you know what, this finger is too long, and so I'm gonna make it shorter like this. This is okay, this should be a little bit longer. I go with a very faint mark like this, right? And then once I'm happy with this, I can either erase this with a kneaded eraser gradually, very lightly, and then with my pencil, very nice and sharp, I can go over it and following the basic trace, the line that you have created early on, I can create a nice, cleaner drawing that overtake the previous drawing in graphite, and so on. Also differentiating various structure. For example, I can draw part of my structure. Let's say a bone. Do the bone of the arm, the humerus, right? The humerus in graphite, right? And then later I can say, okay, now over this bone in here, I want to put the muscle, and if I differentiate the bone from the muscle, and in order to differentiate the bone from the muscle, I can draw a muscle over it here, right? The brachialis, for example, right? And a little bit of color to maintain a certain transparency. I still maintain the trace of the humerus under there. Then over here I can put the, let's say, the coracobrachialis right here, and whatnot. All this muscle in here that I need to show, and now I have differentiated the skeletal structure from the muscular structure, so it can be very useful in diagrams, right? So you also will need sandpaper. Is very useful to touch up your point, and then you will need a sketchbook. It's very useful. You can do your assignment directly on the sketchbook in here, and I like to do all my notes, write all my notes in here. Or you can use, this is fairly small. What is this? It's just, I don't know the size of this, but you see it's not too big, right? So, or you can use a bigger sketchbook. Let me see if I can get it. A bigger sketchbook like this. This is a moleskin, very good paper. Same thing. I prepare my lessons in here, sketch my things in here, and you might be able to. Actually, it could be a good idea to do the whole class in exercises in a book like this, so you keep them all in one place. If you prefer, you can also use paper, a pad of paper like this. This is Strathmore. Canson is also good. 9 by 12 or slightly bigger, but don't get it smaller than this because you need some space to draw. This is medium surface, right? And 80 pounds. So it's very good paper, very good drawing paper. I would really recommend this. But get medium surface because it has a little bit of a texture. So, and then of course you need the book, my book. I have a chapter, actually, yeah, various chapters, and one is specifically on hands and feet. So you're gonna read a lot of interesting facts about hands and feet. Who knew? Hands and feet were so interesting. So this is all the material that you will need, and we're gonna get started with lesson 1.